Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Strategos. This is a really cool game. Think kind of like if Total War met miniature wargaming, or plus if you've played Field of Glory before, if Field of Glory was real time with its battles, because I believe it uses the same system as that to kind of conduct its battles. It has stuff like order delay, so if your units are far away from your commanders, they're not going to be able to act immediately, and you'll see messengers fly out through the battlefield. You'll be able to see big mass routes. Morale is a huge part of this, and again, if you've played something like Field of Glory, you're going to really be able to understand that. And again, it takes time to move units around the battlefield. Positioning is super key, and not just like spreading your cavalry really far out and outflanking the enemy, etc. It kind of feels really good. My one big complaint from this is that the art style isn't as mature, I guess, as something like Total War. It definitely does feel a bit more lower grade, which I'm totally fine with, but I would love to see a larger scale when it comes to it. I think that's one of Total War's biggest not mistakes, but downplays throughout the years, is that the scale has almost just gotten smaller and smaller in those games. And I think one thing that I would love to personally see in Total War and similar games to it is huge scales. So something that we don't have is we don't have the ability to recreate these huge Asian battles and all these different systems and stuff. I think would be really cool the larger you go, because it would feel like such an epic engagement. But enough yapping, let's dive in. So again, this is out with a demo you can play for free over on Steam. I'll leave a link to it down below in the description. In this demo, we can mess around with some of the other interesting stuff. We have 2 maps along with a handful of different forces. We have the Romans, we have the Carthaginians, and we also have some of the Greek forces as well. You can mix and match some of these units as well. So for example, you can get some allies in, which will give you access to different units. You can also, I believe, adjust some of these. I don't think maybe the Romans have access to the ability to change up a lot of their roster in this way. But I know that the Greeks, for example, you can choose between bringing more cavalry, etc. And again, in the actual proper game, you're going to have a campaign. You're going to have the ability to bring what you want to. But hey, let's just dive into a battle. I'm not going to mess around with anything. I'm just going to leave it as is, and we'll see what we can get done. So let's dive in. We'll play as the pre-Marian Romans. So again, we're using Astarte, Triarii, etc. I think this is like, yeah, early Republic, etc. When it comes to our forces. And you'll see quite quickly that this game definitely feels, it obviously is using the same system as something like Field of Glory. I'm not sure what the official system they use is, but again, you'll see fragmented units. You'll see all that lovely stuff. I'm a big fan of it. This is awesome. One of the big things, and I think a big turner for a lot of them games for people, is the depth is there, but they just can't get on board with like the turn-based combat. It takes too long, whereas this is a really good alternative. So as I mentioned, as I said earlier, you guys can see, whereas the combat itself, like the units, they don't have that kind of I guess maturing feeling. It's not really the right word. I don't really know the right word to describe it. It's something like it's Total War. But as I said, I'm totally fine with this, because you spend 90% of the time commanding battles in Total War like this, and then you spend about 5% zooming in and being like, oh, that's a kind of a cool animation. So again, I have no problem with this. I would like to see, because of this, a larger scale when it comes to battles. We can obviously maneuver units around. As I mentioned down here, we have available courier count. So this is the amount of time that we can give orders to units as the couriers at once. So we can give 20 orders to my units at once. We also can see the rate at which they can throw their javelins, etc. We can also see charge ranges. So I believe if units get within these, they just kind of charge each other in the heat of battle. They see enemy, they move forward, they fight enemy. We also see the command ranges as well. I believe these command ranges allow me to automatically give orders. I think that's the case. Again, it's kind of a complex system, but once you get it, you kind of get it. But yeah, I believe this allows me to send orders without having to send a courier to go and commission that. So you almost kind of want to spread them out, so you have like one on this flank and then almost one on this flank, so that the orders overlap. But when you kind of start to outflank, etc., it becomes a interesting ordeal. In the back lines, we have our Triarii as well. So we, of course, are utilizing these elite units, aggressive spears. They are elite as well, so we'll have a lot of extra bonuses. And I believe, yeah, if you look at the bottom right, you can also see how many men they have, the discipline, etc. This is a good enough formation that we are going to set up. The Carthaginians on the other side are going to be, wielding a lot of Numidian cavalry. They have a lot of Numidian cavalry. They have some skirmishers. Their infantry, I mean, they have some sacred band in here somewhere. Yeah, right here, these are the sacred band in the center, which you'd love to see. And again, some more lighter cavalry on the left flank, which is going to be a real pain to deal with. So you can also see kind of the command structure right here. So these guys are kind of basically dealing with everybody here, and again, vice versa right there. If we try to move these guys forward, do they? Yeah, they do just move automatically. So I assume that we're good right there. You can see this cavalry, though, is waiting for messengers to come and actually give them orders because they're well out of range of the commands right there. So they're actually being told to move their way forward. Again, same over here. So again, these wider forces can be risky, allows you more maneuverability, but it's still awesome. And also, like, look how we're on normal speed right now. Infantry aren't exactly moving like super fast either, right? Like, you know, they're moving, but it's taking time for them to get up to full speed and actually getting across the battlefield, which is, again, something I really, really like. If I do this, yeah, it just does that, okay. Just saying, can I alt-click? No, I can't alt-drag. That's kind of annoying, as I said. I'm not sure if there's a way to move everybody in formation. We also have pushback mode, which I imagine means I try and disengage. Again, I'm trying to think back to Field of Glory with everything, but I assume that means I do disengage. I'm going to bring the TRI maybe out to the flank like so, and vice versa here, just so we can quite quickly protect our units. I guess maybe some javelins here as well wouldn't be a bad idea. Can the commander not charge as well? We have a little X on those, so I wonder if we can charge them or can't. Either way, I'm fine to turn. We'll turn these guys to move and shoot there, and probably vice versa. Because if we can get some javelins in, that'd probably be pretty deadly. We go over here, we can see the range we're coming into them now as well. And again, luckily we don't have to worry about that. So I imagine some javelins will quite quickly, yeah, whittle down the Numidians. Already doing some damage again. You'll remember these numbers from Field of Glory. And to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if this was even maybe the same people. Either way, able to do damage there. Again, I'm going to probably dispatch a unit of these guys over here. So yeah, again, you can see, like, look at this. Look how far the messengers are having to come to actually reach these guys. I love the system, right? It's really cool. So yeah, we're doing some decent damage. They're hammering away on my Chiarii, but we must be doing some good damage to these guys. I don't know, again, the numbers are kind of hard to look at. You can also see how likely your units are to win as well in combat, which is interesting. If we were to charge these guys, we'd have a 76% of winning. Okay, they're coming very aggressively now with more skirmishes, which is fine. We'll continue to harass those. Oh, they actually decided to kind of charge me here. And then we ended up getting, what, goaded? Is that? Yeah, we're fine now, though. So let's try and reform a little bit. I guess we could also bring these guys back a little bit. Javelin fire is still doing good. They're going to be charging in here. Yeah, we're falling back there a little bit with some more skirmishers. Able to really whittle these guys down, but the Chiarii are definitely weathering the storm. Which are kind of like, again, let the rest of our infantry come forward. Let's see if we can maybe do some damage to that sacred band is what I'm really looking for. But it's not, though. Yeah, I'm going to pause it quickly. Because as I was saying, like, doing damage to the sacred band is good. But they're going to be the strongest unit in the entire army. So ideally, we want to try and break everything else and then cause a chain route across the line. As I said, morale is a big issue. So let's maybe bring these guys back now. The javelins can come out to the flank. We're starting to take a bit more serious damage now on these guys, which we need to be a little bit cautious of. Yeah, we need to be a little bit cautious of. So let's go back down. We need to get these javelins kind of back here, throwing some javelins. I think our command structure is fine right now. Yeah, command structure is fine. I might even give these guys the order to push. And maybe they're going to be able to get in range or at least scare them off. Because, yeah, this unit getting hit in the side is a little bit scary. So, yeah, I might bring these guys forward and try and just scare them off because I don't want that to happen. More javelins coming in. Chiarii is fine right now. And, yeah, I think I might start pushing forward with my infantry. I don't want to disorganize my formation because that could be a bad thing. But I also want to get into melee combat kind of quickly. So let's push up a little bit now, I think, as best as we can. Okay, you guys are fine. You're actually kind of charging. I don't think there's going to be a way for me to sort that out. Let's kind of keep us close by as well. Can we just tell you guys to hold now? Push back maybe? No, yeah, you're goaded. So they've been like, they're like, we won combat, we're charging. So again, you can see like this cavalry is kind of bringing my formation out of like a whack. And I'm kind of a little bit vulnerable here as well. So of course we want to maybe give the orders to charge if we can. Doesn't look like we can. I think it's because we're already too close. There's some good javelin fire here before the two lines clash. But yeah, I think we're going to be charging. I assume we want to be the one charging though, no? But there's no way for me to give the order. So yeah, if we pause it right now, actually, we can see. So if I hover over this unit Hastati and we give them the order to charge, you can see it's not a combat that we're going to win. There's a chance we could tie combats, but not doing great. Over on this side, I think we're already in, so I can't see that. And on this side, we're more likely to win. Okay, good. That's nice. As I said, but I assume we want to be the ones charging. I don't think that's going to be too possible. We do have a TRI set up here, though. And we also have some missiles as well. I mean, they're harassing me. They're going to be harassing me to no end. However, a lot of these guys are out of ammunition. Okay, cool. Let's go back to play then. Let's get these guys to keep on firing in. I guess on their Libyan spearmen maybe would not be a bad idea. And now the infantry are clashing. Again, we're back on slow motion. And you see, so I think basically what happens every single time that this ticks round, there'll be a dice roll behind the scenes, and it'll obviously calculate the percentages right there. 73% chance that we win this. If we win, we do damage to them, and I believe they take a morale shock test, obviously at the beginning of battle. They don't have to beat a high number, but as it progresses, they'll start. So we'll see it in real time, I think, in a second. Make sure these guys don't charge in. So you can see everybody took damage, and then I think there's a chance that they'll get fragmented, and then if they get fragmented, they'll slowly start to do that. So you can see they're actually falling back right now, and we have to pursue them though. Again, that's something big. Like, again, much like historical battles, they're pulling back right now, but we have to push forward to pursue them. And because we're like locked in, you can see we're doing the same here. They've actually disorganized me here as well. So that's not looking too good for us. So what I might do is I might turn these guys around and maybe start doing some damage to these guys. So firing some good shots in, doing a little bit of damage is nice. So you can start to see like all the kind of the differences in the battle, how it unfolds. Again, right here, there's some peeling being thrown in as well on the Libyan infantry. We're not looking too great. So what I might do is I might try and bring... Yeah, again, these guys are pursuing pretty heavily. It's not really great combat, so we kind of need to do something. They just got so much skirmisher cavalry, I just can't really deal with it, and I don't want to overcommit to it as well. And we're throwing javelins, and the cavalry is soon to be out. Okay, so we've actually pushed through here. So what I might do is I might try and bring the general in here, and then try and do a little charge to help out there. We've got a general unit here as well, who's actually being forced to charge. Again, the enemy are too close to them, so I think they're actually going to come in here and charge, and there's nothing I can do to command this by the looks of it. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that. That's going to help these guys be no longer disorganized, which is fine. This cavalry is going to come in, and again, hopefully charge into here. It's a little bit of a finicky system, and we are doing good damage as well to a lot of their units here. We've broken them here. Are they falling back a little bit? Yeah, you guys are stuck in here, so we should be doing good damage. We've automatically dropped them because we're flanking. Again, the Triarii are acting as a big buffer right now. Their cavalry is about to be out of ammunition soon, but let's stop firing there. You guys can maybe help out here. We're throwing a lot of damage right here to try and do damage on this unit, try and break it, hold up that flank. Javelin's still coming in. They're out of ammunition on a lot of their units. This is really the only scary one left. You guys have hold, so yeah, you guys just hold. And if anything, maybe just fall back a little bit. Do I want anything else along the battle line to fall back? We've fragmented this unit as well now. Good stuff on the general. And they're basically out of a lot of damage on their skirmisher cavalry, which is good. This sacred band unit is cutting me to pieces. And this is where we kind of probably need the Triarii to make their way in. Yeah, I think we try and maybe break this unit. I mean, the sacred band is just such a pain. Doing so much damage. I think we do keep on pushing though if we can. Can we tell them to push forward? I don't know if there's a way. Yeah, push forward mode. So yeah, I think you guys push forward. There's no need to command at all. We've broken this unit. Big. But they're going to pursue them again. That's the thing as well. These guys are having to pursue them because they're like kind of locked in the combat and they haven't passed like the right check, I don't think. Guard mode might stop that. They almost don't mind that. Yeah. Okay. So maybe, again, we can't really... I don't know why these guys are refusing to charge is my problem there. If I tell them that, oh, they do still do it. This is an X, so I don't know why. Maybe because they can't catch. Maybe. And so, yeah, I think so far we're doing a good job. We've actually managed to break these guys quite nicely. This unit is starting to struggle. Yeah, it last failed its cohesion check. We are breaking a lot of their units in the center elsewhere. Now we can break the sacred band with the help of the cavalry. We're in a very good spot. You guys can't do that. We fragmented the center. Really good right there. I think keep on pursuing them. This cavalry is fine now. Yeah, maybe I should use my cavalry a bit more aggressively. But I think we're fine. Yeah, and this unit is still fighting, which is okay as well. But the Triarii are getting eaten alive here. Yeah, I think we have to make some moves here on this cavalry. The Triarii, maybe I've just risked them too much, but they are really starting to lose men here. I mean, we've disorganized this with enough javelin fire. Our general is recoiling, so they've kind of basically disengaged from that fight. Just bring them back. I think we've done enough damage to that, which is fine. We are now being brought back. We need these guys to rally so I can use them and then basically wrap around here and go into the back of this unit of infantry. If I can free these guys up, it's going to be very big. And I think as soon as we outflank them, they have to take a morale test as well. We do 10 damage on the charge. So units take a lot more damage as well on these rounds of combat. Whenever they are, whenever they're fragmented and stuff, they break very quickly. Good, so we've broken that. And again, when unit, I believe, again, this is just Field of Glory. I believe when units take fail morale test or rout, every unit around them also has to take a morale test. And then on top of that, I believe that when units can like chain route, and if they're fragmented or disorganized, it's obviously much harder for them to succeed that. So we did break here, which is kind of fine. We'll get these guys to fall back, and we'll just basically try and shoot the sacred band as much as possible. Broken back cavalry, which is good because we need it. Our center is like struggling a lot. We need this unit to break and free up. I know we're charging this unit of cavalry. We're disorganized now because we're on rough terrain, but it does now free up the TREI to come in here. As I've kind of wasted the TREI a bit, but it's okay, I think. Yeah, we'll see what the Sacred Band do. So that's the enemy general going in there. We're disorganized, so I'd like to try and revive that. Oh god, yeah, you guys know. Oh no, I didn't bring them out far enough. You guys did rally though to get back because we are fighting our general now. So you guys need to get back and help out here. We've broken them here, which is big. Again, our men aren't exactly super healthy, but we need to get over here now. I've just thrown my general in. I was not looking. Can we tell him to fall back? Actually, can we give that order? Recoil mode, try get out of there. Recoil mode and then get the hell out of there. Please. Yeah, nice. We managed to actually engage their skirmish cavalry here, which is big. I think you guys continue to harass that. I want you guys to go into the side of those. The TREI are going in, boys. We have to bring it in. Again, we might have to, again, we're just taking so much fire here. So does it look like they're finally trying to move it to attack us here? Which is fine. No, they're falling back here. The TREI are basically discounting all of this, but maybe it wasn't worth it. Like, maybe it wasn't worth putting our best units in reserve here just to get fired at. Either way, TREI are now making their way in, and you can see the enemy are immediately trying to pull back there, but they are going to get caught. I want you guys to be pushing forward as well. All of a sudden, though, like, orders are going to be taking a little bit while to come into effect and stuff. Yeah, a lot of our units are pretty unfresh. So you guys did manage to fall back now. Good. Now get the hell out of there, please. Yeah, pull back, pull back. Skirmishers. This is a bit scary, so we kind of need you guys to get stuck in. Sorry, we're on slow motion as well. Yeah, we need you guys to get stuck in there. You guys are going to smash into this unit of routing units, I believe. Either way, we've managed to outflank here, which is big. You guys still have some javelins left, doing a little bit of damage. But then also they're about to hit into the back of me very soon as well. So yeah, we fragmented this unit of infantry big. They're recoiling. Our general unit is fragmented. I don't know if we can make him like retake a test or not. Somehow we're losing this. Are we? Okay, we are. We're struggling there. Luckily, we've broken this left flank as well. Very cool stuff. Okay, so now I think we give orders to bring them over here. Again, there's no orders. So again, this commander is now giving me orders to go deal with that. We've broken that, which is good. So now come into the back of there, please. Our general needs to get the hell out of there. You guys maybe need to turn that. Can you guys... Oh, you guys can't charge. Again, I think this game takes a little while to get used to, but once you get used to it, you'll be in a very good spot. So I think we need to give an order. Where's the order coming from? Please say it's not over here. These guys are waiting for an order. Oh, man, there's a big rout there. Holy crap. A bunch of my units just broken. A bunch of theirs did as well. That was crazy. Okay, the TREI are going to need to turn and face these guys, right? They're disorganized because they're facing the wrong way, I think. Which is a bit of a shame. Oh, it's because my general maybe died? Maybe it's because my general died, so they fragmented. Okay, either way, we broke their cavalry. Come over here. You guys continue to harass them. So again, skirmishers aren't like these massive killing machines as well. Yeah, these guys like routed because there was a big mass rout. Now their cavalry's going to come in and just basically mop us up. The AI is no joke here. My general needs to come back if he can. Yeah, skirmishers are kind of a supporting force more than anything else. However, we've broken them here, which is big. Or at least they're recoiling. I don't think they've actually fully broken yet. Yeah, my TREI are now fragmented. And now a big allied rout as well there as well. Okay, so they've smashed my left flank. I've kind of broken theirs as well. So we basically just need to reform if we can. Reform, as I said, I don't really know like how, if I can make units retake tests or not. We still have this unit of cavalry that's coming over. Are they attacking me still or not? It's hard to tell. But yeah, let's try and reform. We've dispersed a bunch of units. So we basically want these guys to reform like so. There's no available couriers though. No, so I can't even give orders to some of these guys because there's already orders moving around, etc. I need my couriers. Is it because this guy can still give couriers though, right? His command range is so small though. And yeah, basically force these guys in. Not the end of the world fighting cavalry, but again, cavalry doesn't just get insta-killed by spears either, like in Total War. And Carthage win. Carthage take me down. They are able to break enough of my army there at the end and just completely wipe me apart. This is honestly, though, such a cool game. I think it takes a little... It gets a little jarring at first when you play your first few battles when you're like, oh, why does that work like that? That was silly. Why did these units break, or why did these units do this? But I think once you start getting the hang of it, and again, I think once you start fighting like larger scale battles and where there's like multiple things, I think this game has a lot of potential. A cool campaign, I will go a very long way as well. Being able to fight these big battles, like this is almost like a dream game for me. Again, I think I'm missing the scale, and we'll have to see what the campaign's like. But I love the depth of this. This is something that isn't made enough of, because I think a lot of the games like this are just going to be turn-based. I think a lot of people see games like this and they're generally always turn-based and then they're immediately turned off. But having the ability to maneuver stuff and it being slow-paced is super cool. So I think definitely go over to their Steam page, wishlist this game so that they get some support. Again, indie devs, etc. As I said, I'm pretty sure this is made by like one person, but maybe I'm completely making that up. And please let me know in the comments if I did completely mess that up and it is made by a bigger studio or something. Either way, it's definitely a smaller team. And I am honestly very excited for this because, as I said, Field of Glory is one of, definitely an amazing game out there for me personally. Someone who loves depth, loves strategy. And I would love to see, again, real-time battles of a proper campaign and stuff would be very, very cool. So big shout out to the devs. This is really awesome. A good demo. Go check it out for yourself. I'll leave a link to it down below in the description. I'll see you guys in the next one.